are you?
Tens of thousands gather on Parliament Hill under sunny skies to celebrate Canada Day with the Queen. And hello, I'm Peter Mansbridge. A very special Canada Day, that is for sure. Happy birthday to you, to me, and to Heather Hiscox, who joins us again this year for our coverage of the noon hour celebrations here on Parliament Hill. As we said, a special day because the Queen is here for Canada Day, number 143, and they've got a pretty special show lined up on that stage.
Absolutely. You know, it's wonderful to be here on the nation's birthday in the nation's capital, but the performances for the Queen today extra special, including Bare Naked Ladies. She's going to address the crowd. Christopher Plummer, one of the finest actors this country's ever produced, is going to introduce her today.
And there will be other hosts as well, including the CBC's Ron MacLean. So it's going to be a fun day, but really the action on the stage will be great. And we'll see the Queen in probably the next 4 or 5 minutes. The Prime Minister due to arrive in the next couple of minutes. We'll hear from him. Rashmi Nair will be speaking with the Prime Minister once he arrives on Parliament Hill. But so much of the attention obviously attracted and focused on Her Majesty. And I'll tell you, the people have come out. The last couple of years, the crowds have been, well, not bad, in the sort of 20 to 30,000 range. Today already, the police are estimating 70,000 in the immediate Parliament Hill area, many of them on those two lawns in front of the Peace Tower. But as you can see here, many of them also out on Wellington Street, because they'll get a great close view of the Queen when she arrives in the landau, horse-drawn landau. To arrive on Parliament Hill, there'll be an inspection of the Guard of Honour, a short walkabout up towards the main stage area, and then right into the show. And there's everything, as Heather mentioned, you know, singers, dancers. They're going to be an aerial display. The long-awaited snowbirds, we missed them in Halifax because of the weather. They're here. F-18, CF-18s are going to be here as well.
We'll have all of the military. There's a view of the lawn, and you see it there. The last time the Queen was in Ottawa for Canada Day was 1997. Perhaps even bigger crowds, but certainly this is a bigger crowd on the lawns here than we have seen over these past 5 years.
And there's the Prime Minister and his family, Rachel and Ben, his children, and his wife, Lorraine. And we're hoping to hear from the Prime Minister in a couple of minutes. As we mentioned, Rashmi Nair will have a chance to chat with him, his thoughts and feelings on this year, being met by the Minister of Heritage, James Moore.
This is their 5th Canada Day. We've watched Rachel and Ben grow up in front of us, in front of the country, and their 5th Canada Day as a family, and 5th as Prime Minister. Stephen Harper.
Prime Minister doing a bit of the handshaking.
Those people arrived at around 5 o'clock this morning, Peter. I was here earlier today talking to them, and to get a front row seat to see the Queen. Some of them have seen the Queen. One lady to whom I was speaking 10 times over the course of her life, and she wanted to have a front row seat for today.
Stephen Harper, first elected in 2006, it in some ways feels like yesterday because of all the action on Parliament Hill. You know, a number of minority governments in a row here, 2 of his, 1 of Paul Martin's. But as you said, his 5th Canada Day, so time does fly by. That's a lot of appearances on this day in this place as the country celebrates its birthday. It was interesting today. It's been, well, here comes the royal procession. We'll get a closer view of that. It just rounded the corner on Wellington Street in front of the famous Chateau Laurier Hotel, so it's making its way up. Horse-drawn landau, there it is. You see the advance guard of Mounties on horseback, the royal escort for today. Many of them performed the musical ride here on Parliament Hill the last hour or so for the tourists that have gathered here.
It's interesting, she of course spent the night at Rideau Hall, her home in Canada. Sat for a portrait earlier this morning for her Diamond Jubilee. They're already preparing for 2012 and her 60th year on the throne. She had a portrait sitting this morning, and then joining us here at Parliament Hill. And that beautiful state landau, which was a gift from a departing Governor General in 1911, and it's kept for processions with the Governor General, what we've seen the past few years, but for the first time in many, the Queen and Prince Philip in it, and the crowd getting a first glimpse of her as she travels down Wellington Street.
And her father, George VI, and her mother, the Queen Mother, were in that same landau in 1939 when they came to Ottawa to officially acknowledge the National War Memorial just off Parliament Hill. And the Queen was last in it on a Canada Day, as you mentioned earlier, 1997. That was quite the summer for the Queen. We all know what happened at the end of that summer and the tragedy that hit the royal family.
He's through the East Gate, and oh, this is an important part of the day, isn't it?
The Queen's Standard. Queen's Standard up on top of the Peace Tower. The Prime Minister now speaking with Rashmi Nair.
Peter, the Prime Minister has just arrived here on Parliament Hill. Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day to you and all your viewers.
So this is your 5th Canada Day as Prime Minister, the first time the Queen is in attendance. How are you feeling?
Well, it's a very special day to have the Queen here with us, but it's been a special year with the Olympics, with our strong economic position in the world, the summits. It's just been a really good year for the country.
Fantastic. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for having me.
Peter, I'll send it right back to you.
All right, Rashmi, that's great. Hearing from the Prime Minister, and just as the Queen and Prince Philip arrive on Parliament Hill, and the Queen resplendent in Canada Day red.
You know, it's interesting because I asked the people in the crowd again earlier today what they expected she'd be wearing, and they said it will have to be red and white. And indeed, there she is. 84 years old, with the stamina and the energy of a far younger woman. And of course, let's listen to the crowd.
You know, in many ways, I think it is that stamina and that willingness to be here to take on the agendas, which can be grueling at times, especially for someone of the Queen's age and her husband's age, Prince Philip, 89. The weather was tough in Nova Scotia, and it affected the turnout, but gosh, the crowds have been overwhelming here in Ottawa since her arrival yesterday. More than 10,000 at the National Arts Centre in that particular area.
Yes.
To watch her there yesterday, and then today here on Parliament Hill, estimates already at 70,000.
And Stephen Harper is accompanying her along this royal visit, and he looks to be enjoying himself thoroughly, certainly during the International Fleet Review in Halifax, smiling and ebullient, really, and alongside, he was, remember, very quick to make the point that Michaëlle Jean is not the head of state, it is the Queen, very strong in that, and he is enjoying sharing in this royal visit.
So the Queen and the Prime Minister now walking along the red carpet. There will be, as there always is on this day, the moment of the royal salute, usually taken, as you said, by the Governor General, is off in China now, when she's representing the Queen here. But today, the Queen herself, Canada's head of state, on site, ready to take the royal salute, inspect the Guard of Honor, and then sit and relax, and what should be one of the best shows we've seen here in the nation's capital certainly in recent years. They've got quite the lineup of stars. Others mentioned many of them. We'll keep some of them as a surprise for you. I think you're going to be quite impressed.
The Air Command pipes and drums, we should tell you, in the background, performing as they always do at Canada Day. Master Warrant Officer Doug Kraft and the Pipe Major, Sergeant Catherine Buckland, to greet the Queen.
The 21-gun salute being fired in the background. The Queen will now be invited to inspect the ceremonial guard. men and women of the ceremonial guard who are involved in the changing of the guard daily here throughout the summer on Parliament Hill, a huge tourist attraction.
The Queen's the Colonel-in-Chief for more than a dozen regiments across Canada, so there are close ties here. And it's interesting, a television journalist from Britain here to cover her visit commented that for all the military reviews she has done, so far as anyone can tell, she still seems to enjoy it. And we'll see that here. She often stops and speaks to the soldiers along the line as well.
Queen completing the inspection of the Guard of Honor. Be a second royal salute now, this one O Canada, followed almost immediately by a flight past of 4 CF-18s right over Parliament Hill.
Major Miller giving the royal salute. And we're noticing from here the maple leaf brooch that she's wearing on her suit in honor of the occasion.
Salut Royal! Presentez! Art! Order! March! Third will report 3 right. Report 3! Right!
Now, part of the traditional pomp and pageantry here is also the march past. The Guard of Honor will march past. The Queen remains on the saluting platform there. The Air Command Pipe and Drums will play the Maple Leaf Forever, and those 4 CF-18s are out there somewhere.
Here they
due
go.
to fly
We
over.
can
Here
hear
they
them
come.
now. The Queen watched very closely as they flew overhead. Very popular with the crowd, of course. CF Canadian Forces Base, Bagotville, Quebec. They're here from Bagotville.
And the Snowbirds will join the aerial show a little later on during this noon hour celebration. And they always perform with excitement for the crowd. Let's listen to the Air Command Pipes and Drum, the march past for the Queen. Now, the Air Command Pipe and Drums, the Maple Leaf Forever. With the march past completed, the Queen, the Prime Minister, Prince Philip, and the Harper family, Lorraine Harper and Dan and Rachel.
And there she is receiving flowers. That 7-year-old Katie Gibbons, who's there representing the Brownies of Canada, presenting the Queen with a bouquet of flowers. How many millions of bouquets she must have received over her years on the throne, and she never keeps them. She always gives them to local hospitals. You know how much Queen loves flowers. We saw her at the Chelsea Flower Show earlier this year. Always delighted there, and receiving a bouquet from Katie Gibbons this morning.
You know, and as Terry Molesky pointed out last night, for the thousands of times that she's had that moment, she always seems to make it for every small child who's presenting her flowers, a very special moment.
I think that's one of the things that people have said when they do meet the Queen, and that is there's that moment of connection, just fleeting seconds, but she always finds some way of directly communicating a special meaning for them, and they take away very cherished memories of even a very short meeting.
are sticking to the carpet on their way to their seats. When the show's over and they head back, the idea is that she will perhaps be moving towards the crowds and talking to them as well. But let's listen in because the show is about to begin.
This is my home, oh Canada. This is my home, oh Canada. Oh Canada.
Je découvre avec moi des splendeurs et des cœurs,
Des façons de vivre,
et des pouvoirs créateurs.
it's here where you realize the heart and home are one.
Canada,
Canada, where your daughters wear your sons. This is my home, oh Canada. This is my home, oh Canada. Oh Canada. This is my home.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, Marie-Josée Laure.
gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. The victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen.
Żmały tu a wici nano, l'ultimo sciutti non hanno tagliamo. Żmały tu a wici nano, l'ultimo sciutti non di non. On chante au nom des peuples, au nom de la mère terre, que les peuples s'unissent et qu'on enterre l'âge de guerre. Moi je viens de monde complètement différent, sur une réserve indienne mais issue de père blanc. L'héritage de ma mère, mes origines algonquines, tellement mêlé un cours de route sur ma propre estime. Suis amérindien blanc et un savoir décidé. J'ai compris que j'étais humain mais séparé d'une moitié. Il y a une peuple qui me parle et qui me rapproche de la mère terre, pendant que de l'autre côté on me dit que je marche pas sur les terres. Il y a des milliards de gens, donc des milliards de races. Puis le médecin, faut juste avoir une bison de face. On a plus de plumes, ni de flèches et à courir sur des chevaux. On a le corps éternel, puis on mange du McDo. On sort de la réalité, on ignore la vérité. Je récite la suite d'une histoire non terminée. Je suis un oui non, je suis un oui de nano. Je suis un chou, je non, natata ya mamu. Je suis un oui non, je suis un oui de nano. Je suis un chou, je non, c'est non. Je suis un oui non, je suis un oui de nano. Je suis un chou, je non, natata ya mamu. Je suis un oui non, je suis un oui de nano. Je suis un chou, je non, c'est non. Et when shine, je suis oui ou non. Desgasgada, comme tu vois non. Je sais ce que non, je suis chez les noms. Je suis tiré les noms, twist, tu vois, tu triches, mais non. Tout me je te vois, je me non. Tout je te sinon, je te managodon. Et quand je te tourne back, la carte je t'en dis, ja. Mais vous don't you watch my non. A chou, avec no, I'm stayak, je t'ai voulu. A chou, avec no, et yak, j'ai gagné ta nano. Mais vous don't you watch, padinado. Bigo do dia, te liga de gudado, nana. Esgagia, te liga de gudão. O meu kitiaco, não. O meu tchuima, we don't, but we got de gudão. Mabuti, we are to contact, scribbing, da gudão. Samia, Chawin, Yama, that's it. Fico calma, io te namoro, c'est le même shit. La même problématique. Des sauvages métaphores, d'amis, tu vis à court d'or. Nous, on explore les territoires. Tu m'as oui, non, tu as oui, tu es nano. You tu me shoot, tu know, not the way I'm out. Tu m'as oui, non, tu as oui, tu es nano. You tu me shoot, tu know, you didn't say it all. The gift is you know that, yeah, we are go, we are not this, need to be time, easy winner. Tawaga, ya go, get ya vogo. Get your swama, get your menana, keep it again now. Kudagi waka, we are go, getting go, get got in the dagi gang. Hey, sheep, Musiana, Kichi Mane. How we are go, get walking from Pagana. We not gonna easy watch. Hey, I'm easy watch. Can't win with the time, but she not go to watch. He's a guy, hey, Maggie, shit, I go bana. Can't win, kiki, need as in Anna. Maya, the boy win, the deep Chimonana. Hey, Gama, shaky, she got the Gatisogan. Samia, Chawin, yeah, man, that's it. Nico got my yote na mort, c'est le même shit, la même problématique. D'être sauvage, métaphore, la vie de vie à côte d'or, nous on explore les territoires. Tu as oui, non, tu as oui, tu es nano. Tu me shoot, tu know, not the way I'm out. Tu as oui, non, tu as oui, tu es nano. Tu me shoot, tu know, didn't say it all. Tu as oui, non, tu as oui, tu es nano. Tu me shoot, tu know, not the way I'm out. Tu as oui, non, tu as oui, tu es nano. Tu me shoot, tu know, didn't say it all. Hey, Papa, why is Chimigwich.
Something else. The First Nations of Quebec with the Blueprint Crew Dancers.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, Mr. Christopher Plummer.
Votre très gracieuse Madame,
His Majesty,
Son Altesse Royale, le
Your
Prince
Royal Highness Prince Philip,
Monsieur le Premier ministre et Madame Harper,
Prime Minister and
Mesdames
Mrs.
et
Harper, ladies and
c'est
gentlemen,
avec beaucoup de bonheur
it
et
is with
d'émotion
much joy and
que
emotion
je vous souhaite
that I
la
welcome you
bienvenue
today
alors que nous célébrons
as
ensemble
we
cette
celebrate
magnifique
together
journée
this
nationale.
wonderful national holiday.
Sa Majesté
Her Majesty
et le Prince ont souvent visité
and the
nos
Prince
côtes.
have often
Et leur
visited our
présence
coasts,
nous remplit
and their
toujours
presence
de
here
fierté
today
et de
again
reconnaissance.
fills us with pride and gratitude.
Mon pays, qu'est-ce que
And
je
now,
peux dire?
what can I say about my country?
I think of my country as one of great beauty, a peaceful, comforting, soul-searching country with only the wind to rattle its shutters. I grew up on the ski slopes of Canada and in the saloons and nightclubs of Montreal. Back then, a city already flourishing in the arts. I must confess it, I had a wild, naughty, wonderful youth. And it's all Canada's fault. Je ne regrette absolument rien.
I don't regret any of it.
But even now, after a lifetime of escape into the big bad world outside, there is always still present that irresistible tug at the heartstrings which inevitably pulls me back home to a country somewhat overwhelmed by the presence of nature, which haunts us and humbles us and makes us sometimes wonder who we are as we huddle together, most of us at the 49th parallel, such a little band of brothers, a speck against the eternal vastness, which the poet Robert Service so vividly and affectionately describes when he reminds us that there's the land. Have you seen it? It's the cussedest land that I know, from the big, dizzy mountains that screen it to the deep, death-like valleys below. The winters, the whiteness that blinds you, the white land locked tight as a drum, the cold fear that follows and finds you, the silence that bludgeons you dumb, the snows that are older than history, the woods where the weird shadows slant, the stillness, the moonlight, the mystery. I've bade 'em goodbye, but I can't. Merci.
Et maintenant, accueillons Jean-François Brault
Now,
et
please
Marie-Ève
welcome
Janvier.
Jean-François Brault and Marie-Ève Janvier.
With no handy silver lining, with no crime to make the headline news. If it's a matter for decision, you and I can be the ones to choose.
Je te donne mes espoirs cachés. Je te donne mes incertitudes. Je te donne mes plus grands secrets.
La vie c'est déjà si compliqué. Donner pour donner, tout donner. C'est la seule façon d'aimer. Donner pour donner, c'est la seule façon de vivre. C'est la seule façon d'aimer. Pas la peine de vivre enfermé.
C'est pas la peine.
Pas la peine de rester couché.
Non, c'est pas la peine.
Je te donne sans rien demander. La vie c'est déjà si compliqué.
Je te donne mes sourires moqueurs. Je te donne ma force, ma douceur. Je te donne des secrets fragiles.
La vie c'est déjà si difficile. Donner pour donner, tout donner. C'est la seule façon d'aimer. Donner pour donner, c'est la seule façon de vivre. C'est la seule façon d'aimer. Donner pour donner, tout donner. C'est la seule façon d'aimer. Donner pour donner, c'est la seule façon de vivre. C'est la seule façon d'aimer. C'est la seule façon d'aimer.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts.
Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez accueillir les maîtres de cérémonie, Geneviève Borne et Ron McLean.
Votre Majesté,
Your Majesty,
Votre Altesse Royale,
Your Royal
Monsieur le
Highness,
Premier ministre,
Prime Minister
Madame
and Mrs. Harper,
Monsieur le Ministre,
Minister,
chers Canadiens, chers
dear
Canadiennes,
fellow Canadians,
je vous souhaite à tous et à toutes
I want to wish all of you a happy Canada Day.
bonne fête du Canada, Ron.
Vous aussi,
Happy
Geneviève,
Canada
merci
Day, Ron.
beaucoup.
Thank you.
Happy
same to
Canada
you.
Day. What a truly great honor it is to be with you on this beautiful day here today. Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Prime Minister, Mrs. Harper, Minister Moore, fellow Canadians. I always saw Geneviève, the two most exciting words together were Game 7.
Yeah.
But fellow Canadians, that's the winner. We are absolutely thrilled. Je m'appelle Ron McLean to be here on Parliament Hill. It's our opportunity to wish you a happy 143rd birthday.
Le Canada est grand et son immensité et ses
Canada
merveilles
is a big
naturelles nous sont
country, and its
souvent
vastness
révélées
and
par nos
natural
Premières
wonders
Nations.
are often brought home to us by our
artist
First
performing the next
Nations.
song fittingly has chosen Big Country. He's a member of our First Nations from beautiful British Columbia, Wayne Lavallee.
A big country, sunsetting on the night. A big country, land open wide. They hate, they hate, they hate, they hate, they hate, they hate. Sweet grass covers my skin, wild rose thorns blister within. Tobacco child breathes a new life. A spirit dances gather in the moonlight. What you hey, I've been a country, telling on the sky. Our spirit riders, they feel alive. I've been a country, I keep saying that again. One day I will go there to honor them. A big country, sunsetting on the night. A big country, land open wide. Which I'm hey, 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 hey. A sweet grass covers my skin. Release the smoke in the spirit within. A crystal lake drinks a new life. Yellow grass from the drum has arrived. What you hey, hey, hey.
En tant que gagnante du deuxième prix
As
de la
the winner
célèbre
of the
émission
second
de
prize
télé
on the hit
américaine
U.S.
America's
television
Best
show,
Dance Crew,
America's Best
cette
Dance
troupe de
Crew,
danse canadienne
this
s'est
Canadian
démarquée
dance
par sa
troupe has
créativité
distinguished
et son
itself
talent.
through its
Et
creativity
elle
and
nous
talent.
fait vibrer,
And she has
chanter
had
et
us
danser
dancing
depuis de
and singing
nombreuses
for many
années. On
years.
l'adore.
We just
She's
love
a
her.
non-stop source of energy that defined rock for a generation of francophones. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, veuillez accueillir Blueprint Crew et notre grande Marjo.
Toutes les bons, j'oublie mon passé. Enfin, j'irai où personne n'est allé. Voilà! J'ai jamais eu peur de mentir. J'ai jamais eu peur de m'oublier. L'espace et la vie. Laisse le temps rouler. J'ai franchi le point du non-retour. Je laisse l'avenir au hasard d'une vie sans détour. Tant appris en écoutant, en regardant. Tant appris sans jamais vouloir posséder. Ne me reste que tes yeux, que ta bonté. Oh, ne me reste que nos secrets. J'ai pas ce qui m'agace, j'en ai assez. Enfin j'irai où personne n'est allé. J'ai jamais eu peur de partir, j'ai jamais eu peur de m'oublier. L'espace et la vie. Laisse le temps rouler. Là où le cœur te conduit, et laisse l'avenir au hasard. Sans détour. Je sais très bien que j'ai tout à gagner. Que sans toi ni toi, j'irai là où je voudrais aller. Je sais très bien que je n'ai plus rien à perdre. Oh, 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 c'est mon chemin, ma destinée. L'espace et la vie. Laisse le temps rouler. Là où le cœur te conduit. Laisse l'avenir au hasard. L'espace et la vie. L'espace et la vie, bébé. Il y a tant de choses à découvrir. Il y a trop de choses qu'on doit sentir. Laisse passer la vie. Bonne fête du Canada! Happy Canada Day!
Merci, Marjo, a Blueprint Crew. Canada's known for its energy. Earlier this year, a terrible disaster struck a country very near to Canadians' hearts, Haiti. We were all affected by the images of loss and devastation, but we were moved to act. We showed money organizing relief to rebuild a nation.
Ce grand malheur qui s'est
The
abattu
terrible
sur nos amis
misfortune that
haïtiens
befell our
l'hiver
Haitian
dernier
friends
a
this
provoqué
winter
un
gave rise to an
impressionnant
impressive outpouring of support and solidarity across the
Later, we
country.
can see the good that has resulted, reminding us that when hope was needed, Canadians answered the call.
Dion Taylor de la Saskatchewan
Dion Taylor of Saskatchewan and the Montreal Jubilation Gospel Choir joined together in singing a heartfelt message of hope.
Happy Canada Day, everyone! All the way from Saskatchewan. Ooh, oh, yeah. Last night I dreamt of a choir full of soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, and it stretched across the planet now. Every woman, man, religion, and race. And they sang without no music on the same tune. Ooh, joint hand in hand. And the warlords and all the armies have become a big marching band. I tell you how sweet the harmony would be if we all would only sing one song. I tell you how heavenly oh, it would be if we all would only sing one song. If we all, yeah. If we all sing one song. If we all if we all sing one song, oh, we could stop with all this bloodshed, put an end to all this war, come together as one chorus with a little child leading the star. If we all, yeah, if we all sing one song, if we all, tell me, if we all just sing one song, let's sing it one time. Sing it one. Sing it one song. And the sound will shake all the heavens, blow the storm clouds from out the sky. But more importantly, it was not the suffering, like the tears from all the children's eyes. How sweet it would be if we all would only sing one song. So just imagine how this earth would change if we all. Tell me now, if we all sing one song, you and me and you, everybody. If we all sing one song, hey. Sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it now. If we all sing it one song, sing it one.
Canada is renowned above all as a place of welcome, and our next guests know that firsthand. They came to Canada from Chad, bringing their harmonious voices and songs to their new country. Lucky for us. Ashao signifie
Ashao
l'hirondelle de
means
Sao.
Sao's dove
Sao étant
and
les ancêtres
refers
des
to Chad's
citoyens du Tchad.
ancestors.
Et c'est porté
It
par
is
les
on
ailes
its
de cet
wings
oiseau qu'ils
that they
viennent vers
came
nous.
to this land.
Mesdames et messieurs,
Ladies and gentlemen, Ashao.
Hi, everybody. Happy Canada every day. Come on.
I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, 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 I'm better, 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 Nana, I'm better. Kun batero mi Maria, lo corbonito chero, ay. Kun batero mi Maria, lo corbonito chero, akum bangas kadirakum takam kare, ayim merego, ayim merego, akum bangas kadirakum takam kare, ayim merego, ayim merego, plaka plaka takik chiga.
I now have the privilege to introduce the Honorable James Moore, Minister de Patrimoine Canadien et des Langues Officielles. Minister Moore.
Minister Moore.
Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Prime Minister and Mrs. Harper, distinguished guests and proud Canadians, Bonne fête Canada, happy birthday Canada.
Today, Canadians all across this magnificent land of ours are getting together with family and friends to celebrate Canada Day.
This is a very special day indeed, as we are honored by the presence of Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, and His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh. And if I may say, your strong attachment to Canada is a great source of pride and inspiration for all Canadians. Mesdames et messieurs, aujourd'hui, le 1er juillet
Today,
2010,
July 1st, 2010, marks the 143rd
what a year
birthday.
2010 has been for Canada. It started with the hosting of the 2010 Olympic and Paralympic Games in British Columbia. Games where not only did Canada host perhaps the most successful games in Olympic history, but we were also introduced to an entire new generation of Canadian sports heroes. We will forever remember the magic of Alexandre Bilodeau, the bravery and inspired determination of Joanie Rochette, and that gold medal goal of Sidney Crosby. And just as we are energized by these great new moments of Canadian achievement, we will also pause in 2010 to mark a number of significant milestones for Canada, including the Royal Canadian Navy's centennial year and the 65th anniversary of the liberation of the Netherlands. These are reminders. These are reminders both of our country's proud history of military service in the past and also our responsibility to honor and cherish those brave men and women who serve Canada today. Chers compatriotes,
Fellow Canadians, every day and in 1001 ways, we all contribute to the greatness of this country. That is why, on the occasion of Canada's birthday, we are prouder than ever to call ourselves Canadian.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have every reason imaginable, every reason, to proudly call ourselves Canadians. And with that in mind, I wish you all a very happy Canada Day. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce a young man who has a great deal of talent. He was born in Calgary, Alberta, and his passion for music has taken him to every corner of the globe.
He proudly represents Canada at events around the world. Mesdames et messieurs, Jan Lichetsky. Bravo, Yann.